Yo, Eric again, back with another Green-White Tappers video. This time, I would get a little... Spicy is not the right word because, I mean, everyone's playing Ouroboros. But I'd figure I'd try it out. I'm a little late to the game, and I want to see how it goes with Bulwark Ox, specifically, was the point of interest. If you saw my last video, I played a deck, version 1 of this, where we're utilizing Sunstar Chaplain and Reluctant Role Model to be tapped on turn 2 to start generating and accruing counters and value and pressure as quickly as possible, right? And I said in that video, what if we dipped into green for District Mascot, which gives us a second version of Voyager Glide Car, something that can tap another thing on turn 2 and result in 2 tapped creatures for Chaplain or Reluctant Role Model. Well, a card that people have been playing quite a lot lately as well, Gene Pollinator, does the same thing. It's even more resilient to something like Fire Magic with the 1/2 toughness, 1/2 body, and it allows us to play a bit more of a higher curve, clunkier game plan by skipping our, getting us from 2 mana to 4 mana pretty quickly. And it lets us have 2 tapped creatures on turn 2, which is sort of pivotal for the rest of our game plan. So anyway, back to Bulwark Ox, right? Sacrifice this creature. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. What does Ouroboros do? What does Cosmic Grand Zenith do? They put counters on all your creatures. So it sort of shores up our ability to fight against board wipes, which is classically what these kinds of decks struggle against. They're trying to go wide, generate a huge board, put counters on everything, and then they just die to a board wipe, right? Losing all their value, losing all their card advantage. Bulwark Ox says, actually no. Actually, we just survive that. We tank those. Now, once again, Pinnacle Starcage could be out to get us, but with a higher curve and the threat of Ouroboros individually, it's not the cleanest answer either. As far as other changes to the deck, I took out 1 Bright Glass Gearhulk and moved them both to the sideboard, actually, as sort of more of a value card against the grindier matchups. We'll probably bring it in quite often. I'm a big fan of this card, especially once people start bringing in removal. And other than that, the sideboard hasn't changed that much. I just cut 1 Pick Your Poison for 1 Gearhulk, and the rest is the same. So I'm going to run it back, play 3 rounds, and see how we do. I played a little this morning. Not with this version. This is actually the first time I'm testing this, so we're doing it live. But I just kept thinking, like, District Mascot. I talked about cutting it every match. It's like, why play a card, I guess, that there's just got to be a higher quality sort of card that enables something. It enables the same game plan, like the same aggressive game plan, really, and it just lets us do bigger things faster, basically, right? Let's keep an extra land on top. This hand looks great. It's got everything we want. Got the Ouroboros. We'll go for the classic turn 2. This really only loses to stab, but like it doesn't lose that hard. And let's go with a 1/1 counter to play around the sorcery speed -2/-2. Dark Confidant. I mean, brother, it's not looking so good for you, dude. I don't think Mono Black can beat this start, if I'm being real. Let's go with flying, because if the role model does die, I think having flying in the future is pretty important. Let's just get over stuff like Preacher of the Schism. I think that's it. I think we've done it. I mean, obviously, Ouroboros is a known quantity. It is quite strong in Standard generally, and It's not particularly surprising that it would make this deck better. Kill my rabbits. Kill your Bob. We can crew up the glide car. Counters on our guys. Might as well go bigger. We don't need the life. Cool. Easy game one. Had our strong start, curved out nicely into Ouroboros. Let's see what we want to do for our sideboard. Mono black. I mean, Gear Hulk is just great against decks that are just trying to single target removal. It's like, it's a 3-for-1, plus you get to grab 2 rabbits, which, once again, just eats single target removal decks alive. I'm assuming they're playing the demon combo with the 3-drop whose name I cannot remember, that comes back and hits you for big, halves your life total. Slasher, right? Let's bring in the Get Losts. Pick Your Poison can be pretty good against these decks if they're on Unholy Annex. We didn't see it. With the Bob in their deck, they might not be, because if you like hit Unholy Annex off of the Bob trigger, you know, you're just taking 8 damage to the face. They're probably not doing that. Let's go ahead and cut. Leave 1 Seam Rip. Let's cut the Sheltered by Ghosts here. Not unlikely that they have something like the Flash Enchantment. Ah, gosh, where's my brain this morning? Let's cut a couple Ouroboros. I think they're probably worse than Zenith and Bright Glass in this matchup. And let's cut probably something lower on the curve, maybe one of our Chap Lanes. Right, like this. I think that's fine. Match 1, game 2. I mean, this is a fine hand. It's not the best hand we could ever hope to have, but it is perfectly okay. Let's just lead on the starting town. We're going to end up having to play it anyway. And if we do go, like, draw another starting town, we would regret not leading on these guys, I think. Let's go ahead with our Ox, so we can play the role model next turn and start swinging. Okay, Terminus of Return. We saw the Scavenger Regent. What are they doing? Just to be able to cast a big Scavenger Regent? Intimidation Tactics. Probably take the Ouroboros. But who knows? I mean, we get to play the role model, like, Mono Black is going to have a hard time dealing with Bulwark Ox role model particularly well. That's fine. We saddle. We put the counter on Bulwark Ox in this case. 1, to be able to swing through the Dark Confidant without having to worry about blocks, and 2, role model is going to get its own counter anyway. I'm going to go with a 1/1 counter here, because we can just get lost anything they play for blocks, and we can just keep pressuring their life total. But also, with Reluctant Role Model's ability, whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put those counters on up to 1 target creature. Sacrificing the Bulwark Ox while it has a counter means that not only do we get to save a Reluctant Role Model, we get to move that counter to the role model. Not a huge deal. They're going to get to draw a card if they want. They are losing life to their own stuff quite a lot here, and they know I have a Get Lost. They don't know I have 2 Get Losts. I think I'm just going to do the obvious thing here. Continue to pressure their life total. They can't wipe my board with traditional means through this, but they may have some tricks up their sleeve. Let's just continue to go big. This plays around Regent for big. I probably didn't need... Okay, well, they're at 3. I mean, I think that's that spells death for them here. Even if they had something like a big Luis slash Moreland from the latest Spider-Man set, could only do it for 3. They go to 6. I get lost that, and then I'm pretty sure that's lethal anyway. Buster Sword. What is this guy doing? Buster Sword. Okay. Cool. I guess that seems pretty good on a dragon. Yeah, they just can't beat this now. Third Ox, present 3 lethal attackers. I don't even have to get lost this. They can't remove any of my stuff. Let's say that's a dub. Okay. Arch enemies charm, arch enemies charm, looked decent there. It looked decent there. I mean, it was fortunate that I had enough, I had another get lost. Just had everything basically. Sweet. Game 1 in the books, or match 1 in the books. Let's go again. See if we can get that 3-0 for this video here. It looked pretty strong. As far as our opening hands and our draws, it all lined up well, right? We didn't flood, we didn't get stuck on lands either. Everything flowed really nicely. I thought our creatures were effective. The Oxes looked really good. Oxen, Oxen, if you will. Okay. Gene Pollinator. Let's see how this guy goes. So we do have... Oh, this is pretty interesting. We can go Pollinator turn 1 into turn 2 Chaplain Paw Patch, or Chaplain Seam Rip. Seems pretty good. Keeping, obviously, Market Gnome on black-white. Interesting. So I've realized that this has come... this list has become more akin to sort of the classic green-white aggro lists that were popping up. They've fallen away in popularity recently, as the... Yo, this is nasty. As the green-blue lists have gained more traction. I'm just gonna put the counter on the Pollinator, I think. There's just a very real chance they kill the Chaplain here. What are they playing? What are they playing? Oh, is this like a raise the past list? I bet they're just trying to do raise the past stuff. I think we're just gonna play the Ouroboros. We'll tap this guy, and then this lets us swing through. Yes, they're gonna get to start killing off their guys, but like, we have to swing eventually, right? I guess we'll put the counter on the Ouroboros. Okay, so like I was saying, this list is very similar to the classic sort of green-white aggro lists. It does more with the counters compared to those lists, and I think Bulwark Ox is sort of an underlooked piece to that puzzle that shores up winning boards. You know what I mean? It's not like a win more card. It's a, hey, things are going good, and this stops the opponent from just answering what we're doing. This is nuts, right? I think I'm just gonna swing. I'm gonna leave up Gene Pollinator to tap Sephiroth to keep it off attacks. I don't think it matters. They need like a board wipe here, or some ridiculous turn, you know. You could probably argue, hey, just swing with the Gene Pollinator, but like, I feel like this, I'm not winning right now anyway. I probably should have just put that on the Ouroboros. I'm not winning right now anyway, and this leaves me just a little more flexibility. Tap down an attacker, remove a blocker before my next turn, etc., etc. Hey, that looked great. They're definitely on Raise the Past. Plain and simple. I don't think they'd be playing those cards otherwise. Let's bring in the Gear Hulks to be able to find our Soul Guide Lanterns. I'm a sucker for the Gear Hulk, man. I'm just gonna bring it in pretty much every matchup, I think. As we know what we're playing against, and we can utilize these sort of one-mana one-ofs in our sideboard more effectively. Let's go down. Sheltered by Ghosts is probably fine as a one-of. All of this is just so good. Let's go down an Ouroboros. Let's cut a Zenith. I'm just kind of like trimming the curve a little here. And we can probably just play 2 Lanterns. We have the Gear Hulks. We can probably just play 2 Lanterns. Raise the Past is slow. Like, it's not like they can cast it. It's not like the Reanimator deck, right? Where they're just going to go for like a turn 4 thing. The way their deck is built, it looks like they're intending to sacrifice their board and bring it back. And that means they're not setting up their graveyard by milling so much and then casting. Like, they're not going to get a big. They're not going to be able to get a big turn 4 Raise the Past. So I have time to find my Soul Guide Lanterns with my Gear Hulk. I don't think we want this. It's a live card. Maybe we do want this. Our hand is really good otherwise. This answers Sephiroth very cleanly. I'm going to go for the role model here. Put a flying counter on it. I think they might have a hard time with that. There's no reason not to swing, really. It's not like I can utilize... Yeah, I mean, they're going to block. But it's not like I can utilize the glide car on their turn anyway. So just make them block. Obviously, it's the obvious choice, but it doesn't really make a difference either way. Okay, so they get some surveils pretty quickly here. Maybe they do get a turn 4. A turn 4 Raise the Past. Surveil. This is pretty neat. Oh, they're not even choosing to put anything in the graveyard, though. They're missing out on 4 surveils in the Raise the Past deck? That doesn't seem right. That does not seem right. Let's go Starting Town. Let's go Gene Pollinator so we can crew the glide car. And Sheltered by Ghosts on the Voice of Victory. And I'm going to crew, swing, offer the trade for the Zealot. Not a big deal. And they're going to have a tough time with this flying lifelink Ward 2 role model. They trade. Okay. Not a big deal. Even if they raise the pass here, it's like, okay, you get 2 Dinkers back and you still haven't dealt with my almost a Baneslayer Angel, basically. Okay. Felidar Club's pretty good. Felidar Cub is pretty good. Not good enough, but pretty good. Seam Rip. Pretty obvious to me. We just play out our board. If they have a split up, we're not in too bad of shape. Let's go with a lifelink counter this time. Nice to get the lifelink counter in the mix, I think. Put a counter here. Once again, if role model dies, we get to sort of move that around as we want, so raise the past, sack the cub, get their voice back, continue to surveil. It's fine. It looks fine. I think I'm gonna fire up the Restless Prairie and just swing with the gang here. It means they have to double block. I guess what they can do here actually is they can sack a creature, throw the Vondum, and then sack the Vondum to exile. No, destroy Reluctant Role Model. So maybe we just swing with the Role Model. It leaves me more bodies to... Yeah. It leaves me more bodies ultimately and more mana to use my tappers next turn. I don't think I'm going to block anyway, but I'd rather just get this other counter. Is that crazy? If anyone's not long for this world, it's the role model, so I feel pretty safe putting the counters on it because they can just move anyway. Moving to combat, I gotta tap the Voice of Victory at the very least. I think the rest is fine. I think the rest is fine. Oh yeah, Bottom has Vigilance. I always forget that. A lot of words on this card. They're putting a lot of words on Magic cards these days, huh? Sephiroth? Sephiroth? Okay, so, you know, I made a flub, I think, by not tapping the Vondum pre-combat. Oh, well, if they go ahead and sack it now, I guess it's less of a flub. Threatening to destroy my chap lane. We'll tap the Sephiroth? No, actually, I don't think that matters. I guess we just move the counter. Yeah, let's just move the counter. Flipping Sephiroth. Okay. It's pretty good. I'll offer the trade. Now, if they have another Raise the Past, I'm pretty much toast. But you can't live your whole life in fear. Some poor draws. Let's draw a Gear Hulk so we can wrap this thing up nice and tidy. Out for Survivors, nice. Sweet card. I love this card. I don't know how to make it work. It seems apparent to me that like the only shell that it really makes sense in is this kind of shell, black-white decks that are pretty low to the ground or low on the curve anyway. Okay, so we need some real draws here. I think if we Gear Hulk, they probably will have a pretty hard time recovering from that. Empty their graveyard and have a great body. Well, we'll just play this. Hold the land. Maybe they're playing some kind of hand disruption. Raise the past. Yeah, I'm dead to that. I'm not dead, but I'm not coming back from that. Kind of tough. Maybe we do want another Soul Guide Lantern in the main. Maybe Bulwark Ox is not particularly good if they're not trying to wipe the board. Go back to another Cosmogrand. Maybe we want either another Shelter by Ghost or Basilisk Collar. Basilisk Collar is probably pretty tough for them to deal with. Keeps our life total high. Shelter by Ghosts, I mean, they have the Felidar Cub, right? Maybe it's not that good. Get Lost could be okay for Sephiroth, but giving them maps is maybe not the best plan. I think this looks okay. Let's try this. I'm feeling hopeful. You feeling hopeful? I'm feeling pretty hopeful. We're doing the thing. Gene Pollinator looking good. Looking a lot better than the dog right now. Sad to say, but looking better than the dog. One other thing, you know, classically that this card does, because it lets us get ahead on mana early, it means we can double spell with Cosmic Grand Zenith on turn 3, which is something we were not able to do before. Like this. Glide Car lets us double spell on turn 3. Nice. Play this on white. Let's play... I think I like getting the role model going early. I'm going to tap this for mana, but I'm not going to... Let's go flying. I'm going to tap it for mana, but I'm not going to play the Glide Car because we need it to double spell here. Looking pretty good. Tap this. I'm gonna go for counters here actually. I don't think we need the land. I'm going for counters because we have this role model on the field. Let's get lifelink involved too. I think getting that early means that their Sephiroth plan gets a bit worse. Or they just get to drain us out without attacking, basically. Feeling pretty good. Great draw. Now, if this was an Ox, this would all be sealed up tidy. Should have crewed the Glide Car. Okay, well, doesn't matter. But there's also maybe an argument for just like, you know, leaving it back and leaving up some combination of untapped and tapped creatures to play through split up. So I don't think it's the end of the world. And clearly, evidently, did not matter. Okay, cool. 2-0. Let's head into game 3. Match 3. Haven't really shown off the Ox plus Ouroboros interaction quite yet, but compared to the matchups we had yesterday, we're in much more of a creature versus creature matchup, and what can I say? Like, these guys just get off the ground fast and wide, and they get big. You know. Seven-tailed Mekon. So I can read a little Japanese. This is Nanabi Mekon. Nanabi, right? Or by itself, Shippo, I believe. Tail, seven-tailed Mekon. Mekon is like a Satsuma or a And an orange, I believe. This is a good hand. Well, the mana is a little painful, but we have our golden start. I'm gonna put them on the Playstyle Explorer deck? I don't think the Reanimator deck plays Esper Origins, does it? I think we want this. Ooh, no. Ooh. Hold on. Stop. End of combat. Kind of goofed here. Okay. Saved. Fair enough. I'm playing the Ox. Let's play the Glide. Let's swing for 2 and then just shock ourselves for the Glide car. Oh yeah. I think we'll leave that on top. Not really sure what our opponent's doing. You would think based on the colors in Awaken the Honor Dead that this is the Cairo Superior Spider-Man reanimation list. But they're not playing like this, the classic creature density that you would see in those lists. So I don't know. Could be too early to say. We're just gonna go for it. I maybe don't need to pay the life here, but if we crew this, and then... Oh, maybe I should have gone for flying here. This is kind of tough, actually. I think what I should have done, really, maybe, is given the Voyager Glide Car flying and swung. But there's also maybe an argument for attacking and putting an extra counter on the Ouroborid. Giving up the Bulwark Ox. Yeah, maybe not. Let's just pass. Cavern of Souls. I mean, if all they have here is Big Overlord, not that good. Fine. Human. Okay, so they've got to be on the Superior Spider-Man reanimation list. Yep. Cool. Yeah, they're getting really unlucky with their graveyard hits, actually. Plus, I don't think these lists typically play Esper Origins, and while I think it's a strong card, it really does reduce your creature density. Let's go Sheltered by Ghosts on the Ouroborid. This raises its power critically, and if they go to interact with that, we can just shield the Ouroborid, so it's not a huge deal. Maybe we hold the Glide car? Not really sure. We're definitely doing this. Definitely hitting this. We're definitely screwing this up with the Ox. And swinging with everything. Now they have the setup, right? This whole line is kind of rough too. We should have made a big Glide car. That would have helped us another big glide card that would have helped us through this living end effect, but I think this is all okay. I'm not going to say no to that. Now they have to have it right here. There's a pretty good chance they do. We're pretty deep into the game, and they've seen a lot of their deck. They don't... This means they don't necessarily have it. They could, still. They don't necessarily have it. Sometimes you just don't have it, I suppose. And they're looking at my deck like, what the hell did I just lose to? That's the classic sign of hovering over the cards and... Anywho's. Gear Hulks. Full Guide Lanterns. Lava Spur Boots. Seems okay. Could be good. Let's leave in a Seam Rip. I don't think we need more than one, since they're on the Esper Origins. I think one is probably fine. Let's take out an Ox. They're probably not doing board wipe stuff. Let's take out the Sheltered by Ghosts. Let us... let's cut 2 Oxen and... an Ouroborid. Not very good if we go big wide board and they just living end. I think having the bright glass is a lot more important to play around their game plan. This is not a matchup where we can really just jam. Most of the time, they pretty consistently have the turn 4 living end effect. I keep saying living end for those that aren't familiar with formats outside of Standard. The card that, well, you know, based off of what's the even older version? The 5 mana. Anyway, this effect where you sacrifice, both players sacrifice all their creatures and bring back everything else from the graveyard. Living Death? Is that the first one? I don't remember. Anywho's, because I can never remember Archfiend of the something something. I can never remember that full name. But great hand. We have the classic play. It looks good. Duress. It looks good, doesn't it? Like compared to a lot of other versions in this deck, it produces bigger bodies faster, which means you can start swinging in earlier. And the Ouroborid is just like the icing on the cake. Ouroborid. We can even do Sunstar Chaplain into Claw Patch Recruit, which is just disgusting. Let's go counters on the Chaplain. They're probably going to kill it anyway. But this opens up her mana for the Boyd next turn, or Gear Hulk. Yep. Fine. Let's just go Gear Hulk. Let's get our lanterns into our hand early. Although they're not doing much. But if they like mill here, find the Superior Spider-Man, and then I think we would maybe regret not having this. And let's just grab 2 of them. Because clearly we've seen they brought Duress in against us for some reason. They're worried about Rest in Peace, I guess. They may find it difficult to deal with this, and actually I think this might just be a clean 3-0. A good showing for the deck. Once again, dipping our toes into more of a known quantity in Ouroborid. Just go like this. And it's very powerful. I gotta say, maybe I'm an Ouroboros guy. It presents some really nasty boards. Like, yes, it's strong when it enters, but it's really really good on the following turn. Dang, dude, good card. Who knew? They're discarding a card. They can return a something to their hand. That's fine. Nice showing. All right, cool deck. Um, let's play a few more. Those have been fast games. Let's go for the 5-0. Let's see if we can get a 5-win streak here. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Alchemy ranked. Doing some nasty stuff. Nasty work here. Have we dropped a game even? Yeah. We lost once to the black-white raise the past list. What did we play our first matchup against? I don't remember. It was like half an hour ago, right? Exciting stuff. Ouroboros, pretty good. Actually, also, let's talk gene pollinator, right? Compared to the dog, just a lot more flexible. This hand is fine. It's got good mana, and we can hopefully scry into something decent. Well, I'm not gonna say no to that, to be honest with you. Just play this tapped. This is a nasty card. A nasty card. But once again, kind of a known quantity, and I feel like the point of this video perhaps should be to... I'm going to go Sunstar Chaplain here. Show off the power of these inclusions. Sunstar Chaplain and Reluctant Role Model, etc., etc. And they should just block. I don't think they should think about this too much. Let's just put the counter on the Chaplain. Wait. Did I? Oh, did I just pass through my second main without thinking? Oops. Oh well. You live and you learn, I suppose. Turning off the car. Interesting, interesting. Let's eat Sirach. And start swinging. That was a bit of an oops. We'd be a bit more ahead if we had not accidentally passed through that turn, but you just got to keep playing. You know, if you make a mistake, you just got to keep playing and make good moves still, given the situation that you're in. Don't let it compound. I like the Ouroboros plan here. Wait. Oh, okay. Would they trade this? I think they would, and I don't want that. I'll just pass. Make him answer the Ouroboros. We get to go double spell Zenith next turn. Azure Beastbinder is such a tricksy card. I weirdly end up playing a lot of decks with vehicles, Voyager Glidecar and Lumbering Worldwagon, and it seems pretty effective against those, particularly. They also have a big board, but I don't think they'll be able to compete with my board next turn. Oh, right, they can turn off the Ouroboros. Damn, that's good. Maybe I should have seen that coming and hit the Beast Binder with the Sheltered by Ghosts a while ago. I don't know why I did that. I'm not blocking. But I can tap it. I can tap it. And then follow that up with... I can tap it and follow it up with... Zenith. Unfortunately, they're pretty ahead on the Ouroboros plan now. But I can recover pretty nicely that way, I think. I think I have to do that. I think I just pass. Get some taps going. Do it in response to the Surak. Hopefully maybe we draw another land and I can double spell and hold up tap on the Beastbinder again. This is all quite good for them. Now if I block with the Chaplain, I get to Legend Rule their Surak, which is fine. I think were they to swing with the Ouroboros, I would double block pretty quickly there. Trade with the elf. No, I think we need more taps. I don't think I'm gonna win this game anymore. I maybe had a chance if I didn't goof early. Another land. Hurts me, but I will play it. Zenith. We need blockers. They have a lot of tramplers, unfortunately. Sheltered by Ghosts. Good draw. Don't think this is enough, unfortunately. Probably GG. I think we have to pass and just kind of hope. Yeah. They got it. They got it. I don't have to do the math. They got it. Ah. Can't help but think that maybe if we didn't goof early, would have paid off pretty well there. Okay, so Bright Glass, maybe not the best Bright Glass matchup. Not bad, but your Hulk is good in situations where it can just consistently swing through their creatures. You could make an argument maybe for Bright Glass plus Collar to be able to do that. I think the Collar is actually kind of good in this matchup, but really we just want the Get Losts. Even if like they have all these Surak and Rabbit effects that make the single target removal painful to use, you just have to kill the Ouroboros, otherwise it takes over the game, as we saw there. Team Rip seems good against their Beast Binders. Maybe we go down a couple Oxen. Let's go up one Gear Hulk. The role model is good. Chaplain is maybe a little less good here. Glide car is maybe a little cute here. The problem with the glide car here is it is really good as like a flying option later, but early it gets contested pretty quickly. Maybe we go down one. We'll go down two. Try it like this. Try it like this. Ignacio. Painful hand, but not so bad. Effective. Let's go Guess we lead on the passage on white. Because I'm pretty likely to not do anything next turn anyway. Well, unless we draw that. Starting town's fine. We put the counter on the glide car because I think keeping it as a relevant attacker. So say they go like Beastbinder this turn. I think having 2-3 power attackers is a little more relevant than a bigger tap lane. Unith into elves. I think we just have to hold our removal here, unfortunately. Let's swing with the glide car. Now we'll put the counter here. Did I just pass through to my end step again? Why do I keep doing that with the... I have like this, I don't know, I'm like mixing it up with the triggers from Reluctant Role Model, I think. And I just keep like moving through to get to the trigger and then play stuff. Oops, that's pretty embarrassing. 2 Beast Binders. I don't think I'm beating that anyway, to be honest. I mean, the rabbits look really good against 2 Beast Binders, but maybe you could just argue. But I think I just lose to tap out for Ouroboros there anyway. Let's just play the rabbits. You know, at this point it can't be helped really. Now if they have Flash Guy, Flash Tapper, a little worse as well. Let's swing with 1 glide car, since they are pretty likely to Beastbinder it anyway. And this gives us another Chaplain trigger. Now if they have an Ouroboros, you know, what can you do at this point other than play your lands when you're supposed to? But you live and you learn. Tidebinder. Double Tidebinder. Nasty. This is nasty work right here. And they're going to go double Ouroboros. Okay, well, I can't beat that. I bow down. I submit. I submit. I submit. You got it. You got it. You got the better Ouroboros deck. In the Ouroboros matchup. You got it. Jeez Louise. Give me a deck with some board wipes so I can show the power of the Ox and we can save this 4-1. This 4-1 run. F&M hero style. I kind of like to think of myself as F&M hero. That's kind of my mentality of the kinds of decks I build. I want to build stuff that's like not super expensive, not what everyone else is doing. Mulligan this hand. But powerful. Using powerful cards, I think. And I don't know, just interesting stuff. Stuff that you wouldn't typically see. Yes, I'm on Zenith or Boroid right now. I just wanted to see how they would interact with the rest of the shell here. Okay, well, this should be a good matchup, I think. I need to get better at these stops here, huh? We start with a 1-1 counter, so that this doesn't die to shock. This just, oh no, it's, okay, it's the sack version. By the sack version, I mean the one that tries to grow a big creature. Well, I mean, that's just a really good draw. We don't have to think about that too much. And even better, we get to tap the Sheltered by Ghosts. Produce mana here. And one thing I don't think I've talked about yet, let's go flying. One thing I don't think I've talked about yet, if you have 2 Reluctant Role Models, they independently trigger and effectively double the counters that you have on the field. So were this Reluctant Role Model to die, it would move, not only, you would be able to move a 1/1 counter and then move a 1/1 counter, right? Because it's not moving the counters really, it's seeing the counters that a creature died with and putting those on something else. Let's just go 1/1 counters for both of them. That way, if this dies, like, not only is it harder to kill, they might not even be playing any main board removal. But if it dies, I get to just keep growing the important one. I think I have to block here, probably. Oh. Just kidding. Take it. Plot patch is good. Do I just leave back a blocker? Because really the only way they win is if they go like land, pump spell, throw a guy at me. But there's not, I mean, Monstrous Rage isn't in the format anymore, so they can't like effectively pump and fly? Or pump and trample? I think I'm fine with this. Land. Pump, throw. I'm not convinced that that's necessarily enough quite yet. Not without the doubler. Pump. Oh. Oh, no, it's not enough. Okay. Okay, that scared me for a second. That scared me for a second. Alright. No problem. Pump, throw would have been 5 power. Deal 11. Hit me for 11. Plus 2, 13. Put me to 20. It'd be 24 damage. So I was at 25, I think. Wouldn't have been enough. Okay. Bring in removal. What's good against pump spells? It's removal. Collar to seal the deal. Let's cut down on... We don't really need Ouroboros in this matchup. We just need, like... I mean, Gear Hulk is big enough, right? We want our Sheltered by Ghosts. We want the Zeniths. Yeah, maybe we can go down a Zenith. Go down a couple Oxen. Try it like that. Try to get our fast start going, and then just rely on a couple strong creatures to win. We don't really need these like huge boards. We just need to interact with what they're doing. It's a good hand. That's not great. Let's go Pollinator. I'm not gonna play around anything. If they just have it, they just have it, you know? I have to play my game. Game it pretty good. Get a lifelink counter going early. I could just be dead. Sometimes these decks just have it, you know? Wow, all it takes is one turn inside out and one Palace Sword. Nasty work. Nasty work. I'm gonna bring in the Pick Your Poisons. I kind of forgot they were also a Leyline deck, if I'm being honest with you. Let's go down from top end. Let's just cut the Oxen completely, actually. Fungus is okay. I think this looks good. Nasty work. No problem. Pick Your Poison should be pretty good at curbing those kinds of starts. Get Lost also. Maybe you could argue we needed to mulligan for a more interactive hand. I mean, this is exactly that, right? No Leyline off the bat. Headliner's a cool addition to this deck, I think. I think we just play a Pollinator here. We just play a Pollinator here. Opens up our mana for next turn. I don't think we're that afraid of like the turn inside out start on the headliner. I guess what they could have actually is Dreadmaw's Ire. So maybe I'm incentivized to block here anyway and make them use it. Because Dreadmaw's Ire just kills this, yeah. So, saved some life. Could be relevant. Would like a green source here, I think. Okay. So we get to go. Let's go Pollinator and just play the Paw Patch and make them use the Firebrand. Or what if we just go Pollinator and then Paw Patch on one? Threatens like Gear Hulk next turn. No, I kind of just like this. Let's just play Pollinator pass. We'll hold up the Get Lost. If we block here and they pump, I can just Get Lost the Firebrand. Okay, good to know. Okay. I'm not that likely to be dead to show off pump 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 anymore because they don't have the ley line. I'm just gonna Paw Patch with Offspring. And then if they decide to kill this with the Firebrand, I have a much better blocker. And then I can just Pick Your Poison the show off next turn. I don't think another Paw Patch is very good here. Yes. I think we're doing okay. We need to get into our Gear Hulk plus Basilisk Collar zone to really seal the deal. May you have all the ley lines in the world in your hand. May you have all the ley lines you could ever desire. Teach you a lesson. This deck is becoming more and more popular again, interestingly enough. Double Slickshot Show Off is a bit of a problem. But, so, they can't pump both, you know what I mean? So say they have two pump spells. Say they have 3 pump spells. I mean, we're just gonna die to that. We're just gonna die to that. Based on the way they're playing, doesn't necessarily seem to be the most likely. They go show off, pump, pump, pump. Million damage. But if I get Gear Hulk now, blocks well on the ground, and I can get my collar going. And pick your poison next turn. I like it. Could be wrong. Maybe you're just supposed to hold up removal, but I can't wait, you know, forever for them to grab a Seam Rip. Let's grab a Basilisk Collar. Can't wait for them forever to draw into exactly 2 flyers and pumps. I need to be a little more proactive, I think, and pad my life total. Show off. Show off. I don't think 2 pumps is enough, right? Could be wrong. Going with the Firebrand. Going with the show-offs. Going with everything except the Firebrand. Okay. Well, we'll block. What you got? Shed Maw's Ire. Kills my Gear Hulk. Full bore. Oh, this is just lethal. Wow. Okay. Kind of punished a little bit, I think. What can you do? 3-2, not bad. Strong showing at the start. Should have just left it as a 3-0 baby, but I think the deck looked pretty good. Did it look better than classic versions, the standard versions of the sort of green, white, go wide? I don't know. I like the early game opener that we have, though, in, once again, in Chaplain, Role Model, Glide Car. I think it's pretty solid. But, Ouroboros looked great in our matchups. I'm glad we kind of got our butts whooped a little bit, showing that, you know, you do get punished when you don't have a lot of instant speed interaction for that mono red deck. It'll just get you sometimes. But I think I had some Elspeth Smite in the list prior to the last recording that I swapped for Pick Your Poisons because I was running into that Quantum Riddler Flicker deck quite often. So I felt like I needed to shore up that matchup rather than concern myself with the mono red, which pops up every now and then, but is not necessarily super prevalent right now. Happy with the deck. I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think. If you want to see me playing this in the future, let me know. I bought the cards to sleeve up the previous version, just because I love that alternate art from the Aether Drift set. I kind of feel like sometimes I'm the only person that liked Aether Drift and that art style, but got the alternate art district mascot, alternate art Bulwark Ox, so gonna have some fun with that. And I'm looking forward to next video. I think I'm gonna play either some kind of deserts variant, or maybe I'll show off my Rakdos Jekt list. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.